Okay, thank you so much for joining us. This is the Career Improviser, and we're just starting to get into some of the nitty gritty of the how-tos. And so one of those things is how to list a successful event on Eventbrite. So this is just the basics. So if you're relatively familiar with Eventbrite, then move along and you can go from there. But if you go check out the Career Improviser on our YouTube channel, then you can see some of our more advanced offerings once we put those up there. So let's get right into it. So I'm assuming that you've already gone into Eventbrite, you've already logged in, you have your login set up, and you're logged in, you're ready to go, and you want to create an event. So for me, it's great. So we'll be creating an event for Sick Puppies comedy. Okay. So we go in, we click create event, and we get in here. Now, I've got to tell you guys, there's two things that you can look at here. There's the edit and there's the design. My recommendation is don't even mess with the design. The design looks great as it is. So in edit, just start from the top to the bottom as you're going in here. The title is the key to your successful event. Guys, I'm going to repeat it again. The title is the key to your successful event. If you are promoting an improv show that is a comedy show, it should say something like Sick Puppies Comedy Show Improv. People are searching for comedy show. People are searching for improv. People are searching for the name of your company or your troupe. If you're watching this and it's for some other event, some sales or networking event, sales and networking needs to be in the title. In this particular case, it's sensitive to improv. Come down to location. So if this you've never used a location before, you can go ahead and type in where that location is, and it might be in there. So I'm going to just make up a location. We'll just call it the Willow Theater. So you can see here the Willow Theater at Sugar Sands Park, it's just down the street from us. Okay, so that's not normally where we do our shows, but I just wanted to show you that you can start to type in a venue and it'll automatically come up. So let's just go ahead and select that for now. And then it brings all that in there nicely for you. It brings in the address and the whole 9 yards. Now it'll also populate a map. So a map is automatically there as well for you. Make sure you put in a proper date and time. So let's say we are going to do this November 11th. And my recommendation, by the way, is to make sure that you're listing events at least 30 days out. I can't prove it, but it seems that anything that I've listed 30 days or less gets less traction, less participation, less audience. Anything with more than 30 days seems to marinate, if you will, through the internet. So you put in your date of 11/11/2017, your start time. So our shows typically start at 9 o'clock. And then you'll notice here that it defaults into a 3-hour window. So just be careful that if it is ending in the same night, that you fix that date. And then, of course, it's giving us the error event cannot end before it starts. I get that. Okay, I understand Eventbrite. So we go to 10:30. You can schedule multiple events here. Something where if it's something that happens every single week and it's the same exact thing every single week, this might eliminate you having to duplicate this over and over and over. Just make sure you have the right time zone and date setting. So here we have the Eastern Standard Time. Adding your event image. Guys, this is another thing that's a really big deal for me, making sure that you are adding an event image. So I just have Eventbrite images. There's a guy that I use, and I'll put in the comments with Fiverr that does all of my images for me. So you'll notice we've got all these different images that we could put in here. In this case, we'll say that it's our Daddy's Little Nest Egg event. So it's uploading that. It's telling you that it recommends. So if you put an image in there that doesn't conform to the guidelines, then it's going to force you to be, if you can see it here, it's going to force you to constrain to those proportions. So you're better off making a custom image that fits into this, which is basically a 2-to-1 ratio. You can see that here, 2-to-1 ratio, 2160 by 1080 is what they recommend. So I just for the sake of Facebook, I have my guy build it at 1600 by 800, and he's excellent. So I'll put his link so that you can go to Fiverr, and if you haven't heard of Fiverr, shame on you. That's a time saver, and it's excellent. So in your event description, this is the thing where the SEO, so the search engine optimization, is going to begin to pick up what's going on in your particular event. So you need to be really rich in content to clearly describe what your event is, how it works, how it operates, answer any questions that you could possibly ever ask when it comes to looking at an event. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. We're going to go into one of my other events. All right, so the event description, and paste everything into place here. So here's something that's really important for you guys to know. If you want this to officially post into Facebook for you, if you've had a problem with making your event, like if you've used Eventbrite and you can't get it to officially go into and make it a Facebook official event, which we can go into it another time, it's typically because of the formatting that you've put into the event description here. So it's really important that you don't tap into this HTML editor. The moment you do that, the moment you start to customize your HTML, the formatting, for whatever reason, turns off Facebook. So basically, what I've put in here is my rich content, which talks about right away how much the tickets are, what this particular show is. So I just grabbed wording for 3 improvised comedies. I'm using words like comedy, improv, cast members. I'm highlighting who is there. I'm talking about the history of my company, of Sick Puppies Comedy. Some FAQs, which Eventbrite will put standard when you're listing your events. You know, is there a minimum age, transportation, any questions that you might have as a consumer you want answered in the body of this, because chances are people are coming to your event and have no idea what to expect. So put more information in there than less, and then just prioritize the most important information on the top. So what's the most important information? How much does it cost? What's the event about? And what pertinent details do I need to know from there? So we plug those in. You can certainly, make things bold. You can put in some hyperlinks here and there. But I'll tell you that if you start to mess with the formatting, it won't make it a Facebook official event. You've got different organizers, which we can talk about at another time. So we want this to be Sick Puppies Comedy Shows, and it automatically brings in the organizer description. You want to make sure your organizer description is also rich with keywords. Of course, we want to link this to Facebook and Twitter. So you're putting in your Facebook and your Twitter. And then as far as tickets go, you have 3 options for tickets. You can make a free ticket, which is just what it sounds like. It costs you nothing to have people sign up for free tickets. This whole service is free if all you're doing is an event that is free. But we're going to do a paid ticket, okay? And you'll notice that there's reserved seating that's available. That's a little more advanced. So I always label mine as general admission. And keep in mind, every set of words, every nook and cranny of your listing is being weighed in by Google and their spiders that are taking a look to see how high they want to rank this listing in Google. General admission sounds like tickets, right? Then you put how many tickets you want in there. So what's the capacity? Let's say there's 100 available. The ticket price, let's say it's $15. Now, before we go too far, you'll notice here the buyer total is $16.82. Now, why is that? Well, if we click on our gear here, we'll get a little drop down, and you can add a ticket description if you want. I choose not to do so, and you can make it so that it shows up for customers. It's asking for a sales channel. So what that means is they can buy online or at the door only. There's a beautiful app that Eventbrite has called Neon. In this case, we're going to pass the fees on. All right. So you can also absorb the fees and see what that would cost you. So it would cost you $1.82 if you only charge your consumer $15. But in this case, we're going to pass the fees on. And I choose to do that for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, it doesn't cost me as much. But what's more important is I believe that you add more validity to your event and more professionalism to your event when the consumer can see that there's actually fees associated with purchasing this ticket. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. Here's my philosophy. People are used to going to Ticketmaster.com and buying a ticket. They're used to paying fees. And so I feel like sometimes if I go to an event and I didn't have to pay any fees to like check out, even though the fees are annoying and they're expensive, I'm like, how professional is this? I know that sounds weird, but I've tested it both ways. I've tested having a $17 ticket with no fees versus a $15 ticket with fees. We sell a lot more tickets of the 15 with the fees. I don't know what that is. So you want to take a look at when you want to put your tickets on sale. For most people, you'd want to put them on sale as soon as possible. So I'm recording this on the 25th of August. And so it's, 9, 10 a.m. Great. So that's when we're listing them. And then the ticket sale should end, obviously, when your event is happening. So we are having this happen on 11/11, theoretically. So tickets for me are going to stop once the show is about an hour in. So if anyone decides to show up an hour late, they can still buy tickets at the door using the Neon app. And then there's some other coding here. How many tickets per order? Well, one at a minimum. I'm going to leave this blank because, yeah, if you want to buy all 100 tickets, you're welcome to do that. You can add a ticket code group, which is something for if we start to add discount codes. That's something you can do in the future. And then we make sure that the event's happening in the United States. We're using dollars. If you need to add sales tax, you can do so. You can also add a refund policy. And then you want to see, is this a public event or is this a private event? For most of you, it should remain a public event. And then this is where we get to add tags to our event. So again, for searchability to be there, this is really important. And you can see that there's so many different things that you can select. What is this? Is it a class? Well, for me, this is a concert or performance. And the topic is performing in visual arts. And then the subtopic is comedy. So you're going to have 3 tags that are coming from here when we get this listed. You can also show how many tickets are remaining. This is a great marketing opportunity for you to show how many tickets are remaining for your guests. Sometimes that law of scarcity will draw more traffic into your event. We're going to leave that empty for now. And then you literally just go make your event live. You get an email right away that says your event has gone live, and then you should get a pop-up, which should be coming up here shortly, which allows us to add this immediately to Facebook. Do that, and it makes it an official Facebook listing. All I can really talk about to that is that it's going to make it more visible on Facebook when you connect it to your fan page. So if you haven't created a fan page for whatever it is that you're trying to promote, if it's an improv show, you need to have a Facebook fan page. Shame on you if you don't have one. So we clicked add, and here's the beautiful thing. Add your event to Facebook. We're going to list it with Sick Puppies comedy here, right? It's saying location Willow, so on and so forth. We have your event description that's pulling right in with the image. It's for comedy. It's even going to allow you to sell tickets directly through the event. And then, of course, you agree that you're not going to be marketing anyone that purchases these tickets through Facebook. You click add, and now it is added onto Facebook. Now, because this isn't a real event, I don't want this to be something that's actually added as part of what we're doing. And then there's a whole host of options along the left of the column here. But guys, that's it. That's all there is to it. Once you're ready to start to promote this event, you can click View. Guys, that's it. Here's the hyperlink on the top that goes to this event that we just created. The image pops up. It's beautiful. It's got the title of the show. It's got the date, the time. You can add this to your calendar. It shows the location. Eventually a map will pop up. You can see where you can buy the tickets. So you can share the event. You can save the event. You can go and purchase your tickets for the event. You can see which friends are attending. So if I was connected through Facebook, that would pop up here. So this is what your potential fans or customers will see. You can see this robust description of everything we've put in place here. The tags, things to do in Boca Raton, Florida, performance, arts, share with friends. It talks about Sick Puppies Comedy, our profile, how you can find us online, and then more events that we have. So if you have multiple events, you can see even more events. And this is all from Eventbrite. Then there's a map of how to get there. And other events you may like. Now, we kind of occupy this space in Boca Raton, so you can see that all the other events that are coming up are more Sick Puppies events. I hope this was helpful to you. Eventbrite to me is one of the most powerful tools to getting your events out there promoted, get them organized, but that's how you list an event, and that's about as simple as it gets. We'll dive deeper into some of the nuances and how to promote even further with Eventbrite. I hope that helped you out. This is Casey Casperson with the Career Improviser. Have a wonderful day and take care.